Hello and welcome to the MadeByMoomeeno podcast. My name is Catherine and this is mostly a knitting podcast. I occasionally talk about other things, but today is certainly, I think, all knitting. Yes, all knitting today. So as I said, my name is Catherine and I live over on the western side of Germany near the Dutch border in a city called Mönchengladbach. And I'm originally from Wales, but I moved here to be with my partner about 7 years ago. And there'll be a bit of a weather watch today because last week it was about 30 degrees plus and hot and humid. This week we've had storms and all sorts of things. So yes, hopefully the weather will behave today and we won't get too much light variation and things. So yes, welcome if you are a new viewer, if this is the first time you found me. Thank you for finding me, and a huge welcome back if you have been here before. If you're interested, you can find me on Instagram as Moomeeno, on Ravelry as Moomeeno, on Ko-fi as MadeByMoomeeno, and I also have an email address now as well, MadeByMoomeeno@gmail.com. But if you need any of those details again, it'll be down in the show notes, as will everything I talk about today: patterns, yarn, test knits, purchases, techniques, anything that I talk about, I try and remember to link below. But if I forget anything, please do let me know in the comments, and I'll edit it and add in the details. So yeah. Right, so today we are going to be talking about some finished objects. I've got some finished test knits, some WIPs and WIP test knits, future knitting plans. I've got some more test knits coming up. I don't know why I'm doing so many test knits at the moment. I don't normally do that, but anyway. What else will we be talking about? Oh, the winner of the giftaway from the last episode, and also I'll be talking about a MAL that is going to start today, I think. So yeah, that's what we've got today. Feel free to skip through. I put in chapters down below. And if you're interested in one part or whatever, just please feel free to skip through. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, so let's get started. It's always horrible starting these episodes. I tend to ramble on for a bit until I remember what I'm here for and what I need to talk about. I do have notes, but never mind. I will try and refer to my notes. So what am I wearing today? This is the Saltklacken tee from Sari Nordland. I did this as a test knit for her last summer, I think. And I love this. It's perfect to wear in the summer. It's really nice and cool. Even when it's been, like I said, over 30 degrees here, it's been really pleasant to wear. And it's just a really nice construction. Round yoke, folded cuff or folded collar, folded cuffs here and a folded hem down at the bottom as well. It just stays in place nicely, and I feel it's smart enough to wear, not just kicking around the house or going shopping or whatever. It's smart enough to wear for sort of more professional environments. This version is knitted in the same yarn that Sari Nordland used for hers, and it's the Ozetta Trio 2, which is a lovely silky smooth blend of 50% cotton, 30% linen and 20% lyocell. And it's very drapey and very smooth. But as you can see, the increases here are fairly visible. Now, this is due to have a bath. I've been wearing it quite a lot over the last few days. So I thought I'd show it to you quickly before I give it a bath, because I did what I would just do, my standard make one left, make one right or whatever for my increases. But I found that when I was using plant fibre, then as you wear it, it does grow quite a lot. It's like when you wear a pair of jeans, they do kind of get baggy over wear. So it's fine once it's had a bath and it tightens up again. It's or that kind of mostly disappears. But after doing this, I then looked up some different ways of doing left and right leaning increases, and I found a really helpful link, which I'll put down below, for making invisible left-leaning and right-leaning increases. Now, if you're a seasoned professional, you'll be thinking, duh, I already do that. I'm a relatively new knitter. I learned to knit when I was very, very young with my grandmother, with my nanan. when I was probably like 4 or 5, something like that. But then I didn't knit regularly again until 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. So I consider myself to be an enthusiastic intermediate. I'll give it a go. But there are still some things I haven't learned how to do yet, like brioche and things like that. So yeah, I'm still learning different techniques, and I really enjoy sort of perfecting what I do. I don't just want to bang out another project every time. I want to actually work out how to do the best possible, you know, garment or piece or whatever it is that I can. So this was definitely a learning opportunity for me. Having a think about how I do those left and right leaning increases for sort of more unforgiving plant fibres. But yeah, as I said, this top, really happy with it. I wear it a lot. It goes with a lot of things. I think I would use the same fibre again. I think I'd probably make a plain version without the stripes, even though I love this. I love this blush, this pink colour. This colour is called Powder, I think, and this one is Linen. But my Ravelry is linked down below as well with all the project notes and everything. So yeah, go and have a look. Okay, what else have we got today? So as I said, I made notes. After I made this, I had not many leftovers actually. Sari's estimates for the yardage on the yarn required were actually pretty spot on, but I had a little bit left. I had 43.5 grams left of this linen colour, and I've just recently picked up another test knit from Ozetta, so Hayley Smedley, also known as Ozetta, who's a wonderful designer. I've talked about her designs before. I've knit, I think, at least 3 of her designs, and I've bought more than that. So yeah, so she had a test knit for a small bandana or a small shawlet, scarflet, I don't know what you call them, one of those little mini shawls. And so I signed up for that, and I thought it would be perfect to make it in this kind of fabric for the summer. And here it is. So this is the HI Bandana from Ozetta, and it's a really simple but effective design. So it comes at the moment in 2 different lengths. I opted for the small length because I plan to wear it as a headscarf. But it's really versatile. So I made a small adjustment to the pattern. Instead of increasing all the way to the middle, I stopped increasing about here, I think, and did the middle section straight because I intended to wear it as a headband. And it's knit on 4.5mm needles. I'll put the US size down here. And like I said, I used Isager Trio 2, which again is that blend of cotton, linen and lyocell, to make a very light and drapey fabric. And I'm really, really happy with this. I'm definitely going to be making this in other colours and other yarns. I think it'd be an incredibly versatile gift knit. There's nothing to stop you from just increasing the length as much as you want, going up needle sizes and using a bulky yarn, going down needle sizes and using a fingering weight. I think it's just a really sweet little pattern. So yeah, and in the pattern design it's styled like this, which is it doesn't actually go very well with this top because I'm already wearing this colour, so you can't really see it, but that's how it's styled in the on the pattern cover. But I think I'm going to wear it as a headband. So yeah, it's really pretty, really pretty. It's got a nice I-cord edge, series of pearl rows, knit rows and yarn overs. Really pretty, nice and simple. But yeah, there's a few patterns that I really enjoy using for gift knitting, and I think this will definitely be joining them. So this is the HI bandana from Ozetta. Oh, it's called that incidentally because in the United States, as you'll know, especially if you live there, all of the states have initials. So an HI is for Hawaii, and the designer made this design, or wrote up this design when she was on holiday in Hawaii. So it looks like it's called the High Bandana, which I quite like actually, the High Bandana. Sounds very friendly. Next, I have finally finished it. This is the old-fashioned cardigan from Maxim Cyr, otherwise known as Max the Knitter. I finished! Yay! So yeah, the old-fashioned cardigan from Maxim Cyr, or Max the Knitter. And I'll put some pictures up here of my partner modelling it. This was chosen by and made for my partner. It is a test knit, but I sent it a screenshot of the Instagram post to my partner to make sure that this was something that he would actually want to wear. God, what have I done with my hair? And he said, yep, go for it, definitely. So this is knit up in West Yorkshire Spinners Croft in the Aran weight, and the colour is Seafield, and oh, it's just so gorgeous. Really lovely. So we've got an all over texture with some beautiful raglan details. The raglan details are followed down the body and also down underneath the arm as well. We've got a folded collar, which is really squishy. We've got a button band, which is also folded, but although the design doesn't include buttons, it's meant to be worn open, I think. I'd be tempted to experiment with putting a zip in, I think. My partner was wondering about that. So I might knit another one I'm not going to knit another one at some time in the future, right now. I might do. I always say that, I fully mean it as well. When I enjoy making a pattern, I want to make another one, but there's always so many different things to make, and it's just, it just feels like I need another pair of hands to do all the things that I want to do. Anyway, so yes, folded button band. You pick up stitches for that all the way up and then sew it down. I actually really enjoyed doing that. That was really good fun. I use a technique from Petite Knits for picking up stitches, and it works for me every time. In fact, I'll post a link for it down below as well. I think her original instructions are in Danish, but it's a video and it's really, really easy to watch. And I used to find it quite difficult to pick up stitches before then, but using that technique, I find it really easy, really, really easy. Again, if you're a seasoned knitter, you probably already do it, so apologies. But yeah, so I knit the first size. It used just under 500 grams of the Aran weight yarn. I knit exactly to pattern actually. My partner has got quite long arms in proportion to his body size, and normally I have to do quite a lot of adjusting to the pattern to make it fit him nicely. But I found with Maxim's patterns, I don't need to do that. As long as I knit to size for my partner, it fits him really, really well in the arm length and in the body length. He's a great designer for my partner's body type, which is perfect. So yeah, if you've watched any of my previous episodes, you'll know that I made a few mistakes. So I did an accidental repeat row here in the yoke. So I had to rip that back. I took the opportunity to add a few extra stitches under the arms there, just to give a little bit more wiggle room. But then when I went to pick up the stitches for the arms, I noticed I'd done the same thing a bit further up, but just in between the raglans. And by that point, I'd already knit the entire body, and I put the button bands on and I'd sewn them down, and I thought, oh gosh, I cannot rip back everything again. So I sat there, and I made an Instagram post as well, if you're interested. I sat there crocheting back, laddering down and then crocheting back up all of the rows across the arms. It took me so long, but longer than the alternative. So I love this on YouTube. It's so much easier to talk about mistakes because you can kind of like, I don't know, it's less perfect than on Instagram. On Instagram, there's, oh look, this is my finished object, isn't it wonderful kind of thing. It's more difficult to show the process of and panic and frustration. I never mind frogging and repairing things because I know that you're going to end up with something you're more likely to wear for a long time. But there is often a moment, and if you're doing something for a test knit that's got a deadline, you can't just put it in the naughty corner for a couple of weeks until you can kind of come back to it. You've got to just get on with it. But anyway, I fixed the problem. I am happy with how it's turned out. He's happy with how it's turned out. And yeah, we did a little photo shoot yesterday. So that is the old-fashioned cardigan from Maxim Cyr, which is actually the cardigan version of, I think it was the single malt sweater, which is another one that I need to do at some point. Yeah, really gorgeous. I love doing all over texture, apart from when I mess up. But in general, I love doing all over texture. So that's that. The other thing that I finished, it's only a little project. I made another Musselburgh. This one is a gift knit that will be tucked away. The yarn for this is, yeah, this is cotton colour from Regia, and it's their Tutti Frutti range. This one's kiwi, and it's colour 02418. Quite a few members of my family are intolerant to animal fibres. So often when I'm gift knitting, especially for the kids, I use either acrylic or cotton or something like that. And this is just 100% cotton, I think. So yeah, happy days. So if you're not familiar with the Musselburgh, it does that. So it's a nice warm double hat. And yeah, there we go. One finished Musselburgh to tuck away until the winter for one of my nephews and nieces. Okay, what have we got next? I'm doing a gorgeous test knit that I think I talked about in my last episode. It's a shawl for Melanie Berg, and I'll just pull it up the details now. So her name is Merlind, I think it is, on Instagram and Ravelry and everything. She makes the most beautiful shawl patterns and designs, and I am doing a test knit of the Rainshine shawl. How gorgeous is that? I should have given it a little steam before I showed you, really, just so you can see the beautiful pattern on there. Help if I showed you the right side as well, wouldn't it? So this is the Rainshine shawl, and I'm absolutely in love with this. It's a relatively simple stitch repeat. There is a little bit of awkwardness in a couple of the stitches, but I've put full notes on my Ravelry page with a link about how to sort of do the particular stitch pattern a little bit easier. That was pointed out by one of the other testers. It's a really nice pool of testers, actually. Everyone's been very, very helpful and sort of encouraging with each other. So it starts off at one corner and you end up with a lovely big asymmetric triangle. Now, I must admit that up until about the fourth repeat, I was struggling a little bit to keep the pattern in my mind and sort of get into the pattern, but now I'm away. I just need to check at the beginning of each row just to double check what's going on, and now I'm well away, so I'm really happy with this. Oh God, that's so beautiful. I mean, it's less orangey brown than it is on the camera. I'm so happy with that. This is knit up on, what size needles is this? This is a 3.75, so a US 5 needle. And I'm using woolly knit cones held double. So this is a 4-ply. And what I do when I'm working from one of these cones is I wind off a ball and then I centre pull it, just so that I don't need to carry around a cone with me if I'm out and about. But yeah, I'm holding that double throughout, and it's just making a really, really nice stitch definition, and I found an excellent use for this colour. I mean, for me, this is one of my go-to colours, and definitely something that I would wear all the way through the winter and the autumn. It's really beautiful. I think I might even be tempted to go a little bit bigger with the number of repeats that it says in the pattern. And the deadline for this isn't until the end of, I think the 20th of July, maybe 14th of July. I can't remember. 14th of July. Yes, 14th of July. So I've got another couple of weeks to work on this. And yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I imagine there'll be quite a quick turnaround after the testers have finished. A few of the testers have already finished. My goodness, some of them have got turbo needles. I think if I was monogamously knitting on this, I think it would still take me a couple of weeks to do this. But I'm just really enjoying it. It's all over lace work. It looks textured, but it is lace. And I'm just really enjoying it. It's great to knit on whilst the football's on, because I don't really watch the football, and it's the European Championships. I think that's what it's called at the moment. And one, I'm Welsh, so my team isn't in the championship anyway. Two, football's not really my thing, if I'm honest. However, it is very sociable, so we've been spending a lot of time going over to friends' houses and things to watch the different games together and sort of going to barbecues and stuff, which has been really, really nice. This is not knitting with friends knitting. This is knitting quietly whilst my partner's watching something on TV knitting. Or listening to an audiobook, that kind of thing, listening to a podcast. But yeah, I'm loving this. It's really beautiful. I will be sad when this is finished. And I wish that I had a bit more time to do it so that I could take it a bit more slowly, to be honest. It's really beautiful. So that's that, the Rainshine shawl from Melanie Berg. It'll probably be out sometime at the end of July. So yeah, gorgeous. Sorry, little alerts on my laptop there. Okay, so I think that's it for finished objects. I do also have a WIP on my needles that's just for me. So I'm making the Home Camisole by embroidery. I'll just show this to you quickly. I'm making this in BC Garn Lino, hulled double, and the colour is grape. It looks a bit sort of unstructured at the moment because I need to put the I-cord bind off around all of the armholes and the neckband. Yeah, so this is just something that I've got at the moment, just it's living in my handbag. Although it's getting a bit big to live in my handbag. I'm keeping it in this project bag. Oh, I should show you this actually. This is a little puffin bag from Hedgehog Creations. She's a Scottish maker of bags. She sells on Etsy, and I saw this on Amy Palco's podcast, The Meaningful Stitch, and I just had to have it. I'm in love with Moomins. I love all things Moomins, but equal in my affections are puffins. So if it's got puffins on it, I want it. So yes, my puffin bag from Hedgehog Creations. I'll link it down below. Anyway, back to the WIP. So this is 100% linen from BC Garn, as I said, BC Lino, and it's in the colourway grape, and it's just ticking along quietly. Like I said, it's getting a little bit big to put in my handbag, so I think I might cast on another little gift knit to keep in my handbag and do another little Musselburgh or a Jaden, a Rafa hat, something like that maybe. Okay, so that is that. I've made a bit of progress since you last saw it. Where you last saw it was where the stitch marker is there. So I've just been knitting around in circles for a little while on that one. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one being off the needles because I'd like to wear it. So I'll probably finish that in the next week or so as well, hopefully, as long as I'm still on track with the other bits and pieces that I'm doing. Well, I think that's everything I've got on my needles at the moment. Coming up, I'm doing another test knit for Bluebirdpineshop. That's Jacey. She makes lovely patterns. They're really effortless, very classic, very simple, but very just easy to wear patterns. I love Jacey's patterns. If you've seen previous episodes, you know I've done 2 test knits for her before. One was the Cloud Tee, which was a raglan tee, and then the most recent one was the Costa Tank, which was a really simple little tank top with some eyelet details down at the bottom and a folded hem. which I loved and I was wearing yesterday as well. I really, really like that tank top. But no, she's got another test knit coming up. It's the Ridge Tee. I'll put a picture up here for you. And it's just a nice simple t-shirt with some ridge details going across. So it looks like it's a drop shoulder construction. I haven't looked that closely at the pattern yet, if I'm honest. I'm going to think about what yarn I'm going to use for it. Jacey uses Drops Bell in hers. I do have a fair amount of cotton in stash. I think I've got enough to do this project as well. So I'll swatch with that and see if it works, but if not, I'll pick up some Drops Bell. It's not expensive at all. I made the Costa tank in Drops Bell as well, and it was very, very economical, really good price point. So I have no objections to picking up some more if that's required. But yeah, it's a really pretty top, and I'm looking forward to making that, and it should be a relatively simple knit to sort of balance out the more complicated lace work and things that I've also got in the needles at the moment. So that's the Ridge Tee from Jacey of Bluebirdpineshop. But I really strongly recommend you go and check out her patterns. She does a lovely range of different accessories, a few different garments. She also has a really cool pattern for a like a net bag thing, which I've got the pattern for it, but I still haven't made one. I bought lots of different colours of cotton yarn as well, intending to make these shopping bags, but I still haven't got around to doing it. But I will do, because it's a cool, really cool little pattern. So there we go. Yeah, that's it for FOs and WIPs and future knitting plans and everything. So this week we do have some acquisitions. And the first thing I need to talk about is the Moomin in the room. It arrived! The knitted Moomin socks book. Ah, it's everything I hoped for and more. I don't know when I'm going to have time to cast anything on, but thinking about casting on is almost as much fun as the action itself. So I'll show you a few pictures from here. So we have all sorts of goodness. There's the Moomin house. That's so cute. Just need to be careful not to show you any charts like I just did. Oh, first thing I did, show you a chart. This one, the Christmas one. Oh, can't see what you can see. How gorgeous is that? I've never made colour work socks before. I've heard lots of different advice, like doing them inside out and all that kind of thing. So I'll have a little experiment, and I'll definitely make some for myself before I start making them for other people, just to make sure that I know what's what. There was one other one that I wanted to show you. These ones, I have to make these. Moomin hug. Just so darn cute. Also, it's really nice actually. There's charts for everything, but there's also full alphabet charts as well. Because one of the patterns, this one here with the character Sniff on it, this one has the option to personalise them with a letter, with an initial. And yeah, so there's a full alphabetised chart in here, all of the letters charted too, which is great. So that'll definitely be tucked away and used in the future. Although I have got an idea in my head to make myself some sort of festive Yule sweater with all of my favourite things on it. I've got another pattern that I purchased. I'll put it up here. I can't remember who the designer is, but they made a beautiful jumper that had a puffin motif on it as well. And if I'm honest, I bought it for the puffin motif. I'm not sure I want to knit the whole jumper, but definitely that puffin bit. But what if I made myself a festive jumper that's in 2 different colours and just has all my favourite things, so I could have puffins and moomins? That would be amazing. It's something to think about. My mum's first suggestion was that I should make myself some hand warmers, which is also a really cool idea. I like that idea too, so that's a possibility. But this arrived if you like Moomins, if you like stranded knitting, stranded colour work, sorry, this is for you. It's just, oh, it's so lovely. Really, really lovely. Okay, so that's that. It arrived. I'm very happy. Okay, other acquisitions. So this weekend, I follow the WE Yarn Company on Instagram after purchasing some of their gorgeous yarn at another yarn festival in crafting festival, sorry, in Tilburg in the Netherlands. And I made a shocking pink Musselburgh for my partner, which he loves. He loves his bright colours. And so, yeah, I follow the WE Yarn Company on Instagram, and he posted about going to a maker's fair in Nijmegen, which is in the Netherlands as well. And it's not too far from here, only about an hour. So we had a free day yesterday, so I thought, let's just hop in the car and go to this Makers Festival just to see what he's got. And I wasn't going to buy any yarn. Yeah, so I bought yarn. Well, my partner bought yarn. So this episode comes sponsored by Anastasios, which is my partner's name, Anas. So he was born here in Germany, but he's actually Greek, I think I've mentioned before. So yeah, this episode is sponsored by Anastasios. And he chose this for himself. Oh, he is good at choosing colours. Excuse my my scabby nails when they need redoing. But he is good at choosing colours. This is the colourway Sprayed on the Yaldi Yak sock base, which is 60% superwash merino, 20% yak and 10% nylon, and you get your standard 400 metres per 100 grams with this. And it's super soft and drapey. Yeah, that's a nice colour. That's really, really nice. I might have to actually just steal that and use that for some colour work for myself. But no, I will be good. I will make him yet another Musselburgh. I offered to do, so when I was talking to Ross from the WE Yarn Company yesterday, he was showing me some brioche work he was doing. And as I said at the beginning, I've never done brioche before. So I said to my partner, after Ross really kindly explained how to do brioche, which I now get, he just explained it perfectly. I said, well, I'll make you a brioche hat if you want. It'll be really squishy and warm, because he's bald. Oh, well, he shaves his head, so he doesn't enjoy wearing hats. But no, he just wants something nice and simple and plain so he can show off the lovely colours all the time, which is fine. But I just end up knitting the same pattern all the time. If you look at my project pages on Ravelry, it's a sea of Musselburghs in different colours. But he's happy, so it's all good. But yes, the designer or the dyer for this yarn is the WE Yarn Company, which is blowing out a lot, but never mind. And he's based in Nijmegen in the Netherlands. I was a little bit disappointed that he didn't have his dog with him yesterday as well. He's got a really cute little corgi. She's got really, really, really cute. I've got a thing about corgis. But anyway, yeah, so looking forward to knitting with that at some point, but I'll sit and look at it for a while. I also picked up some goodness for myself too. And this is, oh, so good. Little bit of neon goodness. This is a new base of his. This is the Ard DK. Oh wow, that's blowing out a lot. This is Ard DK, which is 100% Polwarth wool, and it's 225 meters per 100 grams. So nice DK there, and you've got all of these splashes of different colors. It's the colorway is called Generic Sweet Reference, and yeah, 100%. It just reminds me of Tutti Frutti, even like Wham bars from back in the 80s. Like horrible things. Probably why I've got so many fillings now. These colours ruined my life. I love these colours so much. I mean, he calls them such fun names and things as well. There's nothing boring about him at all. I really enjoyed the yarn from this yarn company. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with this. I might put it with some other neons and make a lento. I might have to order some more in the same colourway and go with something different. I don't know yet. I'll think of something lovely for these yarns. But yeah, for now I'm just going to sit and enjoy them. Whilst I was there, I also picked up, excuse the crinkling, from a watercolour artist, a series of prints of watercolours of little birds. So I'll pop it out and get a frame for those at some point with some apertures in it. But yeah, it's just really cute. Even though I live in the middle of the city, we get lots of bird life. I even get woodpeckers on the balcony occasionally. That's what attracted me to this, because this is a greater spotted woodpecker, I think. But we even get those on the balcony sometimes. They come over, especially when there's nuts out in the autumn and in the winter. I put nuts out in a feeder up there. Yeah. So no, I enjoy watching the birds. I think it's obligatory after you turn 40, right, to start bird watching. So yes, that is all my acquisitions. And at the end of today's episode, I'll put in a little bit of footage of our visit to Nijmegen and to the Makers Market there. It's really cool. It was in like this old industrial area. And they've set it up to have some permanent working spaces for creative people. So there was everything from people making these amazing solid wood tables to upcycling lights, to architects, to potters, to, you know, ceramicists, all sorts of making going on there. I just felt so like inspired to do things. So yeah, it was just a really, really nice day out and the weather was lovely as well. So really, really enjoyed that. Okay, so that was my acquisitions. Next, I'd like to talk about the giftaway. So last week I asked you to comment on the video, any comment, and I was going to draw one of those to win a pattern of their choice. So I did the draw this morning and I filmed it. I'll pop it up here. And as you can see, the winner is, it's a username. I don't know how to say this. Govid Gordana 2293. Is that right? Govid Gordana 2293. So you've won. Congratulations. Yay. You win a pattern of your choice. So if you can contact me via email, so MadeByMoomeeno@gmail.com, and yeah, we can talk about where you want to get it from and how we're going to send it to you and everything. So yeah, happy days. So let me know what you'd like. Thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. It was really lovely to read, and yeah, I do really appreciate it. And yeah, so thank you very much for that. Also, I asked you last week if you'd be interested in doing a make-along, and there was a lot of people who commented about that, and a lot of people who were interested. So I thought, why not? Let's go for it. Let's do a little make-along. So I sat down and I thought about it, like what the parameters would be, if there'd be any rules, that kind of thing, because I wanted to make it really accessible to you if you're a really experienced knitter, or you're just starting out, or if you're a turbo knitter with turbo needles, or if you're take a bit longer to finish your projects. So I was trying to think of something that would cover all bases. So I've come up with the MadeByMoomeeno Thrifty MAL, and so I'll just read my notes for you. And I thought it would begin today and go on until the 30th of September. I'm pretty quiet over the summer. I have quite a lot of time off over the summer. So I thought that would be the case for quite a few different people, and a good opportunity to slowly make something or slowly do something over the summer months. And it's called Thrifty because I would like to encourage everyone to spend as little money as possible, if possible. So try and use a pattern you already have, or a pattern that was gifted to you, or whatever. If you don't have any stash of patterns, I've made a bundle of suggestions, so free patterns on Ravelry, and I have a Ravelry group called MadeByMoomeeno, which is also linked down below. Feel free to join the group and have a look at the bundle that I put together. So there's all sorts of different things, accessories and hats and scarves and shawls and gloves and larger items like sweaters and things. So, and they're all free patterns, most of which I've made before myself. So I know that I would recommend them. Yeah, so yeah, starting on the 1st of July, ending on the 30th of September. Try not to spend any money on buying new patterns or anything, and go with something that's free or you already have in your stash. But it doesn't have to be knitting. All crafts are welcome. If you're a crocheter, a weaver, a spinner, whatever you want to do. It could be paint by numbers, whatever you want. So we often pick up little kits and things when we're out and about at craft fairs and things. So if you've got a little embroidery project kit that you picked up, or like I said, a paint by numbers kit that you got from somebody, or even a UFO you've had hanging around for ages, an unfinished object you've had hanging around, feel free, absolutely fine. Also, feel free to double dip as well. If you're already doing something for another make along, feel free to use that to enter this one as well. I'm absolutely fine with that. You don't have to finish by the deadline. WIPs and FOs are welcome. Just make sure that you post the picture somewhere. So I have started a thread in my Ravelry group, which again is linked down below. So feel free to post it there. You can post it on Instagram with the hashtag MBMThriftyMAL24. Or if neither of those are good for you, email me a picture of your WIP or finished object to enter the prize draw by the 30th of September. So yeah, just make sure you use the hashtag MBMThriftyMAL24 everywhere, and if possible tag me as well at Moomeeno, just to make sure that I see it, just in case I miss something. Yeah, I will put together 3 prize bundles of yarn and stitch markers, or anything, bits and pieces like that, from local to me makers and dyers and shops and things. So there'll be 3 prizes on offer, with at least 1 or 2 bits and pieces in each of those, and I'll put those together over the summer, because my plan is, whilst I've got a bit of time off, 1, to finally get round to doing some sewing. If you've been watching since the beginning, you'll know I bought some beautiful fabric a few months ago, and I still haven't touched it because I just haven't had time. So I'm going to do some sewing. I'm going to do some spinning. I'm going to actually get round to doing another couple of bobbins. I might even sort of dip my toe into tour de fleece. We'll see, because that started yesterday my time. Today is Monday, the 1st of July. I'm definitely going to do some painting, because my oil paints are sat there looking at me, and I'm feeling judged by my paints. And I prefer to paint in the summer so that I can have all the doors and things open, because it can be a bit stinky when you're painting with oils. So yeah, I'm planning on doing some crafting, but I'm also planning on using my train season ticket to go and visit some yarn shops during the week. So I'm really lucky. Here in Germany we have the Germany train ticket that covers everything, and it's €50 a month, and you can travel anywhere in Germany using it. It's fantastic. The only thing you can't use it on is like the high-speed trains, the ICE trains, like intercity type ones. But you can use it on all local and regional transport. And yeah, so I'm planning on doing some little day trips, and that's where I'm planning on picking up some of the prizes for the MAL as well. So I'll show them to you as I pick them up. And it's permitted spending, right? Because it's not for me. So yeah, there'll be 3 little bundles of goodies yet to be purchased. And so that could include bits of yarn and stitch markers or project bags, anything that I see when I'm out and about to pick up. So yeah, that's the MAL. Okay, so that is about it for today, I think. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about. I think I've covered everything. With regards to the winner of the giftaway, please just note again, I won't comment on anything below or any previous episodes to say that you've won. I will always do it in this format here, and I'll ask you to contact me via email. So please don't respond to any bots or anything if there are any bots lurking around in the chat. So as I said, coming up, we've got a little bit of footage from the Makers Market in Nijmegen that I went to. But other than that, happy 1st of July, and I will see you very, very soon. Happy crafting. Bye.